My name is Misty James, and welcome to our very first show of Women Moving Forward, where we will be featuring Women and Girls Thriving, also known as Thriving. I am the community liaison for Thriving, and I've been the liaison for about 3 years now, and I love it. And I do community outreach, and I organize listen and learn dinners, and co-facilitate a lot of other things with a lot of lovely women. And today, I would like to introduce you to some of the wonderful women that are part of this program. And I would like to start off with Ann Brackett and Andrea Johnson, who are the co-founders of Thriving. So who would like to start? Ann?
I'll start just to give a quick rendition of what Thriving is. We're about 4 years old, and we are a community collaboration of over 30 organizations and agencies in the town, and including about 200 women of all varieties in our group. And our major goal is to work together to create learning opportunities, leadership opportunities, and opportunities for community here in Brookline. And this year we really expanded some of our educational or learning opportunities, and some of the women will talk about some of those. We did a nutrition program, manage your money, preparing for employment, Zumba, you name it. Our basic cornerstone that Andrea will talk about, Surviving and Thriving, a workshop. All of these are 6 to 8 week or 10-week workshop series for women in small groups. Surviving and Thriving is how we got started. And we now do that in English and Spanish. And that's, I think, a quick rundown, and take it from there.
I'm Andrea Johnson, and I'm on the staff of the Brookline Community Mental Health Center, and Women and Girls Thriving is a program of the center. Ann and I got together in 2011. We were inspired to adapt a model by Abby Seixas that was about learning skills, women learning skills together. And we talked to women in the Brookline community, low-income women, and got their input into what kinds of things they were interested in learning. And so we've had about 14 different length Surviving and Thriving group series and extension series. And we learned skills together: meditation, positive self-talk, assertiveness, personal action planning. From those groups, we learned from the women the importance of the women having input with organizations in Brookline, and the organizations hearing from the women in terms of creating programming that's based on real needs and wants from the women and girls in Brookline. So that's how it began.
Well, thank you. But exactly, how did you come up with the idea? Why did you think that we needed this program, Brookline needed this program?
Well, I think Ann and I felt that this was a really great model, and we were really interested in sharing it with people. And we also thought that it would be great to get some input from many different people, so we could adapt it more for race and class and culture. And so that's why it became a real collaborative development of not only the Surviving and Thriving series, but also the groups that we have with community organizations involved in some of these groups that Ann was talking about.
Excellent. And how long do you think it has taken you to really get rolling from like beginning to maybe just a couple of women to where it is now?
Well, we started with the Surviving and Thriving groups. We did those for a couple of years before we got a little extra funding from the Brookline Community Foundation to expand into the community and using what is called a collective impact program or model. And that's drawing lots of different organizations and individuals together to co-create, to work together. And we started in 2014, we did an extensive needs assessment where we did interviews and focus groups with 120 different people in Brookline, both service providers and low-income women or women with low income and girls as well, to kind of find out what people were looking for and what people needed. One of the biggest things that came out was isolation. People feeling isolated and not feeling that they had a community to, make friends in and learn things with people, etc. And we've made huge inroads in that, I think.
Excellent. I mean, that sounds great. Thank you. I would like to now introduce you to our Thrivers who have been with Thriving for a couple of years now, 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. So I would like to introduce Judith and Caroline, yes, who have been through the Surviving and Thriving series and many other workshops with Thriving. I'll start with Caroline. Could you explain a little bit about your experience with Thriving and how you got started?
Okay, my name is Caroline Fisher. I got started, I think it was 2016. I was always home because I'm a victim of domestic violence, and my social worker introduced me to Brookline Mental Health Center, and from there I get involved with Thriving, Women and Girls Thriving in Brookline. But with my experience, this has brought me from like a 1 to 10 level, because I'm always isolated from people, and going there and getting involved with these groups and these women, I feel welcome and appreciate, and I feel like I'm less than how I used to, I'm more than how I used to feel when I stay home. Going to these groups, I attend like a self-defense class, cooking, healthy, Toastmaster. I attend fundraising, be an MC at various dinners, and it's a very nice experience to be around these people, and they welcome you with warm arms, and it don't matter your race, your color, who you might be, you are welcome in this group, and they show you their love and their appreciation, and they welcome you.
Excellent, thank you. Now, how do you feel that it has impacted you and your family, and how has it changed you?
Oh, this has changed me tremendously, because, for instance, the other day, I'm a member of Thriving and Women group now. So the other day they were having a dinner, and I'm the one who go around and hand out flyers to women in my building and around my community at 22 High Street. And this lady, I called her, I said, "Are you coming to our dinner later?" She was like, "No, I don't want to go around these people." I said, "What? You don't know these people. You need to get out." And she said, "Okay, I'm going to try." I said, "Please come." I sat with her, I talked with her for a minute. And I was telling her about these programs, how it helped me, and it take me out from my shell to be like on top right now, because I'm all over. I just want to be all over with these women. So she said, "Okay, I'll come." And she came to the dinner and she hugged me. She said, "Oh my God, these women make me feel so special." And I feel, in my heart, I feel so good to take this woman from her house and let she come sit and have dinner with us, because she was like always isolated from other people because she don't feel welcome. But in Brookline, the women's in Brookline, they're very loving and kind, and they are very special, caring, very caring people in Brookline.
That is true. That's true. You just have to come out of your home and just meet people. And I understand about being scared. You know, you like to, stick with yourself and stay at home.
Yeah.
But if someone like you, invites somebody and encourages them to come out, you found that it was easier once you did take that first step to meet new people, that you wanted to do it more and more.
Yes.
And hopefully the woman that you invited, hopefully she'll come out more and more and join more workshops and meet new people, and that way, people won't be isolated so much. I think that's great. Thank you. And Judith, another thriver.
Yes.
Could you explain, how you became to be a part of Thriving, and what was your experience so far?
Much in the same way as Caroline did. I was in the Brookline Center, just getting on my feet, and I saw a flyer that Andrea had put up in the center and became involved with Thriving as a result of seeing the flyer. I took a workshop in video and felt supported in my creative endeavors, and took another workshop and another, and was involved in Thriving in general, and then it was became part of the staff of Thriving, as it turned out, the communication and evaluation assistant, which I am now. And it doesn't seem so exciting to take notes in the working group.
That's very
and
helpful.
Send out reminders.
Wonderful it is.
Send out reminders.
We're excited
But-
about it. I don't know.
But it gives me a view of what's going on in the working groups, and facilitating focus groups for the workshops gives me a view of what's going on in the workshops. So having that, both perspectives, gives me the ability to hopefully in the next month produce a newsletter. And I'm excited about that. I'm also co-facilitator of an access and information group with Megan, and I do a host of other things that I can't recall at this moment. So I really went from just learning how to walk to having a great deal of confidence, and it's because of these women that I have the confidence I have, and I'm really grateful, needless to say.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And I would also, I would like to now introduce Megan Smith, who is talented in many ways. Not only is she well-skilled and thoughtful social worker, she works at Brookline Housing Authority, she works at the Brookline Mental Health Center, and she is the leader of the Access and Information workshop that we have. She's co-facilitated the Healing Arts and the Tech Goes Home program. But she is also a very talented and skilled artist in her own right. So I would like to ask you, what have you personally learned about community leadership through Thriving, and what changes have you seen in others and yourself as we all learn and grow as leaders?
Oof, that's a big question. I think that what I have appreciated most about Thriving is that it is really a community-based program that from its inception has drawn on the thoughts and value and leadership of people in the community. I think that there are so many programs that say that that's what they do, but they don't actually do them. It's sort of like they say it and it's true to some extent, but I think it's very, very rare that programs are actually led by people in the community. And so I think that that is one of the things when I first was introduced to Thriving as a staff social worker at the mental health center that that really drew me to this program, that it was something that felt that everybody was welcome and that everybody's voices were heard, and also that it was constructed in a way that it was led by what people actually wanted to do and needed. And it wasn't just paying lip service to people in the community. It was actually fostering that environment to happen. So I think in terms of my own leadership, it has really made me not just grow into the roles that I have taken on as that you listed in many ways, but I think that it has encouraged me to think about my positionality and being a leader as also bringing more people in to foster other leaders too, that's a piece of it, and so I think that that's a lot of what I have been learning and thinking about in my participation, and something that I really value about the group, that you are at the same time as you're fostering your own leadership, like Caroline was saying, bringing someone else into the circle,
Yes.
That we're all sort of engaged in that process of growing ourselves and like bringing other people in to also grow with them. And so I think that is just a beautiful thing about the organization, and something that I've learned and hold on to.
Excellent. Now, how do you feel that now you've seen many women go through the programs, through the workshops that you co-facilitate? Now, seeing them, how do you see them grow, and how do they become leaders as you see it?
Well, I mean, we're all sitting here. I mean, I think that I think that we all do grow together. But I've worked with Caroline and Judith, and you too, Misty, and me. I feel like I could just go around and name everybody in the space. But I think I have seen people really flourish, and it's things that have always been there. I've always believed that everybody sitting around here could do these things, and I think that it's just it's unfair that people don't get the same encouragement and opportunity. And so that, I think, that's what we're able to provide is opportunity, and help people see the value in themselves that's always been there, but it hasn't been nourished, or in some cases it's been pushed down.
I completely agree with you, because I've been with other organizations too, and it's not the same. I think this, thriving organization is one of a kind, and it's very unique, and I think it's great.
I think one word I haven't heard yet is supportive, and I think that characterizes this group more than any other word, that the women support one another. And that's what, in my opinion, leads to leadership.
Yeah, I think that's true, because you won't go forward if you don't have that encouragement and you don't have that support. If somebody's not saying, "Oh, you can do it," or if somebody doesn't tell you that you have what it takes in you, then you're never gonna take that first step forward.
Or provide the opportunities.
Right.
Exactly, and I feel that thriving, provides so many opportunities. I mean, we have so many working groups right now. We have workshops that we've had throughout the year, and different people either do one workshop or they do many workshops, and I think it's great that no matter where you are, there's something that you can find that fits with your personality or your desires, and stuff like that. And like I said, it's a community, that brings it all together. That leads me to our next introductions to lovely ladies here who are strong business women and professionals and active community leaders. I would like to introduce Chobi Hoy and Susan Howard. And I would like you to let me know your experiences now that you've worked side by side with different women of different financial backgrounds, different cultures, different walks of life. How has that changed you, or how has that changed your experiences with other people? Introducing yourselves and just relating to other people. How has that changed you?
Well, unquestionably, it's enriching, because many of the people I've met are from different cultures, for example. So that, of course, is very enriching. But I think the main thing is that we're all neighbors, and it breaks down those artificial fences that keep us in certain parts of the neighborhood, figuratively and literally, and in such a relaxed fashion, so that we can really get to know each other and not feel that we're just people trying to help people. Because I frankly feel very helped by this organization. It's a remarkable group of people.
Susan?
I think for me, what has really impressed me is it's really been a privilege for me to be part of this organization, number one, and to meet so many new friends. I've made friends, which is great, because I too sometimes feel isolated, given the kind of work I do and lifestyle, etc. But what's impressed me the most is people really want to be part of this organization. They get it. They want to come to meetings, they do whatever they say they're going to do. It's just amazing, because most organizations are not like that. And if you bring people in the minute they meet Ann, Andrea, Misty, they want to help. They want to participate. They want to be part of it. So it's extraordinary, not just in Brookline, but especially in Brookline, because there are a lot of barriers in Brookline. And hopefully that we, as Caroline has done, we can begin reaching out and encompassing more and more and more women, and maybe these barriers will break down. So it's really a privilege for me.
Thank you. Now, you say it's very different from your normal, working life. So how is it different? Do you meeting different people? How is that atmosphere? Now, how do you describe your regular working life as compared to women and girls, like how we associate with each other and how we react with each other?
I'll begin. I'm an attorney. I'm a criminal defense attorney. And the criminal defense bar is a very, very collaborative bar. But then there are other lawyers, divorce lawyers, estate lawyers. You don't often feel supported when you're in court, because it's you, the judge, and the client. I always feel supported here. I could go to anybody in Women and Girls and ask for whatever I needed within reason. And I know that if they couldn't help me, they would reach out and find somebody who could. And I don't have that in my work environment. So for me, it's a relief to know that somebody's watching our backs. And to be, that's really what it's all about, that we respect each other and we want to help.
That's true.
I again am so appreciative of working with people that may have had a very different kind of background than I've had. And it sort of opens a whole new world to you. And yet it's not really that different a world, because we're all just people. So it's kind of an interesting discovery. But I find myself making friends with people that I might not have had the opportunity to meet, because I sell houses, and it's just a very different experience. I happen to make friends with a lot of people with whom I work, but it's a very different kind of experience, this making friends, and particularly through what I think of as interest groups, where we're doing a lot of different interesting things together. And I have to tell you, I've had some of the best dinners. We could
That's
open a
for
restaurant.
Sure. Yeah.
I think hearing the mutually beneficial part of this process, that we're all learning together, we're all gaining these skills, leadership, getting to know one another, kind of supporting one another, and coming with a positive openness.
Yeah, I agree. And you had mentioned something earlier that we're like co-creators in all this. We talk about being community. We meet one another. We meet people that we normally wouldn't otherwise meet, because even you had mentioned your friend. She said, "Well, I don't know those people. I don't want to go there." But you encouraged her to come out. You coaxed her a little bit, and she came out and she loved it.
Yeah.
You know, you're bringing people together, you know, for, like you said, sort of like different sides of the fence that we probably wouldn't meet each other or talk to each other in passing, but you bring them into this atmosphere and this different situation where it's comfortable and it's supportive, and you know everybody gets to know
It breaks
each other.
down artificial barriers.
Yes,
Exactly.
it
I love
does.
that. I love that because it's true. Because you're not really coming in expecting a specific something. You know, you don't know what to expect, I think, when women come in or when women do a workshop. And you just come in and you're like, oh, okay, well, it sounds interesting, so I'm going to try it out. And then you meet different people, and then I think a lot of people enjoy it.
One thing I think is, in a way, it's surprising because when we first started this, we did some research on resiliency. This was about building resiliency among women who had not had as many, you know, of the not an easy life. And in some of the research, there are 3 things that they talk about: building caring relationships, having high expectations, and having the opportunity to contribute. And I think that, I mean, we've seen it so much in so many settings over the last 4 years, and everyone involved. It's resiliency among all of us because we all need that sense of community and that supportiveness. And I would add the same thing. I have so many friends now. I have so many more friends than I ever dreamed I would have in my life. And wonderful, interesting people. And that's, you know, I am more resilient because of that, and I feel supported every day by everyone. So
That's excellent. That's excellent. Well, I would like to, this is through to everybody, what have you enjoyed most with your involvement with Thriving? So, who would like to start first?
Meeting new people. For me, meeting new people and going to workshop.
Yeah. What was one of your favorite workshops that you like?
Cooking.
Yeah.
Like going to BU and cook, and the nutritionist class. Yeah.
And it's also, you like it for yourself, and you also like the cooking for your family because you have a cooking background yourself.
Yeah. And my kids, they cook in Brookline High School too, every morning. They work in the cafeteria.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's great.
Anybody else with one of their favorite parts of Thriving?
One of the things I love is to get these ideas together about what people might be interested in, and watch it be created with all of us, putting all of our heads together and our hearts together and figuring it out. That's a really wonderful process.
I think one of the things for me is the fundraising group, not the fundraising per se, but the involvement of artists and cultural actors in the community who really knew nothing about any of us, or Women and Girls Thriving, who have just jumped on the bandwagon. And we've had 2 really terrific events at Chobe's office. One, this year the artists painted wastebaskets and they were auctioned off. And what was last year?
The pots.
flower pots.
And it's just been incredible. And the people come and they don't leave for the 2 hours. They sit down on Chobe's couches and they chat and they haggle and it's so enjoyable to watch because people are really having a good time. And so it's sort of filtering out into the community. I think that's really terrific. And fundraising is important too.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't continue on if it wasn't for the fundraising efforts of everyone here and all the community members who come to those fundraising events. And I think it's
And the
Excellent.
artists, and I
Oh,
think
the
it-
artists.
Artists giving of their time and their talent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they do it so gladly. I mean, they're just joyful about
yeah,
it. Which is
it's
terrific.
really, it's wonderful.
Wow. Well, thank you so very much for everybody joining us today. I want to thank you for joining us. I hope to see you next time on Women Moving Forward. Thank you and take care.
Thank you.